Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question comes to us from a viewer, thanks to VA Rice 22 for this one. Amy activates which engine while she controls Rings of Brighthearth? Is it possible for Amy to pay mana from the witch engine in order to copy it with Rings of Brighthearth? Is it possible for Amy to manipulate things such that she ends up with control of witch engine after all the objects on the stack have resolved? Alright, so the first thing that I want to draw everybody's attention to in this question is that witch engine uses the word target in its ability. That's important because if you have a target, you cannot be a mana ability. Otherwise, this ability does qualify as a mana ability, so the fact that it's targeted is very important. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to copy it with Rings of Brighthearth at all. The next thing that I want to call everybody's attention to is the fact that Rings of Brighthearth triggers when you activate that ability. This means that it's going to go on the stack on top of the original witch engine activation, and so that means that it's going to resolve first. In other words, before any mana from the original witch engine activation gets added to Amy's mana pool. So that answers one part of the question. It's not going to be possible to use any mana from the witch engine in order to pay the 2 and copy it with the Rings of Brighthearth. Okay, so now let's take a look at the other part of the question, whether it might be possible for Amy to manipulate things in such a way that she would be the one who ends up with control of witch engine. Let's notice that the witch engine ability asks you to target an opponent, and let's also notice that the Rings of Brighthearth tells you you can choose new targets for that ability. Now, when you choose new targets for an ability, that means that you have to choose targets that are legal. Because Amy is not her own opponent, it's not going to be possible for her to target herself as long as she's the one that controls witch engine. Of course, we just said that because of how the stack works, Amy is still going to be the person who controls witch engine at the time when she's making any decisions with the Rings of Brighthearth, because at the time when the Rings of Brighthearth ability is resolving, the original witch engine activation is still going to be on the stack. So therefore, it's not going to be possible for Amy to target herself to gain control of witch engine, either at the time when she activates the original ability or at the time when she's choosing new targets for the ability, which is a copy of the original. And so therefore, it turns out that neither one of the things that Amy might have wanted to do in this situation is going to be something that she's going to be able to. Bad beats, Amy. And that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again next time for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.